Joined now by ABC News' John Santucci. And when you hear the name Charlie Kirk, so many young people know about what he started, his movement. But so many other people are just now figuring out what he was all about and what he helped in the Trump administration.
Yeah, and really, Mike, learning the impact of Charlie Kirk, right? Seeing the rallies he did, seeing the events he did, the podcasts he hosted, right? The people that he was pulling in. You know, conservative world knows him, but it's conservative young world that really knows who this guy is. Have seen him grow up, right? This is a guy that started his movement on his college campus, replicated it on college campuses around the country. Part of the reason why Donald Trump and his team really gravitated towards Kirk was Charlie Kirk went to Donald Trump Jr. actually, and said, listen, I have this infrastructure. I have these people. I can help you.
Yeah, in fact, he said at the RNC convention, he says, I go to college campuses so you don't have to.
Yeah.
But let's talk about his just influence. I mean, really impressive at such a young age, deep in the administration. Besides John Jr., you've got Trump, but you also have those within the administration, in the Justice Department. We spoke about this earlier, the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General.
The Vice President, Sade, right? This is a guy that got on Donald Trump's radar because of Don Jr., Charlie Kirk, and just a small little band. That was it, right? This was a guy that was not known, wasn't in the Senate when Donald Trump was in the presidency for round one, right? So to think that this small group elevated the vice president, right? Because Charlie Kirk saw something here, right? When Donald Trump won, right? We think about round one, right? Donald Trump, he brought out everybody out to Bedminster. This time it was down in Mar-a-Lago behind closed doors. Guess who was in those closed doors? Charlie Kirk. It just shows the power, the impact, and really more than anything else, the trust that he had with the Trump family.
And he was on a college campus today in Utah. And what was the message that he was driving home? These are the MAGA themes that we've heard so much about that really resonated with a lot of young people.
Yeah, talking about, you know, young conservative families. I mean, he is a young father. These are now children that don't have a dad. Let's just think about that for a second, right? The human toll of all of this, which is just horrific. But yeah, talking about conservative issues, talking about, you know, college campuses being too liberal in his opinion, right? And one of the things that was fascinating about today, this is when he was taking questions from the audience, right? And he invited that.
He liked to spar.
He wanted to spar. He wanted to have that dialogue. It's one of the reasons why people enjoyed engaging with him, because it wasn't just preaching, it was engaging.
This wasn't just a yes guy.
Yeah.
This is a guy who said, like, even the issues with Epstein, he says, listen, we need to focus our attention to that.
That really spoke to his power, if you will, in the Trump MAGA movement, right? Because most people who come out and say something that Trump doesn't like, they're canceled, right? They're not coming back for round two. But Charlie Kirk had staying power, had trust, had the ability to call the president and say, look, this ain't